Hi you guys, happy Wednesday. Today for foundations, what we're working on is putting words in order so that the sentence makes sense. We are working on this page that says unscramble the sentences. The directions say, always read those so you get in the habit of being able to read directions for when you're by yourself. Unscramble the sentences and rewrite them correctly. Now these words are kind of awesome because they have prefixes in front of them. If you look at this word scramble, it has this base word scramble and then it has this prefix. Remember, prefixes are letters that we put in front of a base word, just like a suffix are letters that we put after a base word, and sometimes it just changes the meaning a little bit. So unscramble is do not scramble. So take away the scramble and make better. And then here's another one, rewrite. In this direction, we have another word that has a base word, and then it has a prefix added to the beginning, and the base word is right, and re means again. So we're gonna write the sentences again, not scrambled, in the right order. So in first grade, the easiest thing that you can do to help you is you can look for the capitals and punctuation, because you know that the capitals are gonna go at the beginning and any kind of punctuation will be at the end. So the only time you really have a hard time is if you have a name in there, because the name could be capitalized anywhere in the sentence. But if it's not a proper noun, if it's not naming a person, place, or thing, you know that has to be your first word. So here I see that the word the has a capital T. So that has to go first. The, when we're talking about like verbs, nouns, that is actually called something, it's called an article, and it usually goes in front of a noun. So the, we could either say the bathtub was in the dog. No, that doesn't make sense. So let's try it with the other noun. The dog, then we'll put the verb next, the helping verb, was in the bathtub. Yep, that sounds right. The dog was in the bathtub. Ooh, bathtub is a fun word. What kind of word is bathtub? Well, depends on what Mrs. Lloyd is asking for, right? Bathtub is a noun, a person, place, or thing. But if I'm asking for like how it's made up of two smaller words, so it's a compound word. Bath, tub, bathtub. All right, let's look at the second one. Cupcake the, that's weird they put the period there. I think that's a mistake. I the got best at shop. I think that there should never be two periods in the sentence unless there's talking marks, right? If there's quotation marks, we could get away with using two periods. So I think this period is wrong. So I'm gonna put an X through it. I think that was a mistake. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the only word that has a capital, which is I. Now I would be capital no matter what, but there's no other word with a capital. So I got, I'm gonna say the best cupcake. I got the, whenever you're using the word the, it would go either before the noun or before even an adjective that's kind of changing the noun. And the adjective we're using is best. It's telling us about the cupcake. And remember how a lot of times adjectives come before the noun. They describe the noun. So the best cupcake, the yummy cupcake, the prettiest cupcake. I got the best cupcake. Cupcake is another compound word. So far we have I got the best cupcake. I need to use at the shop. Oh man, this is a long sentence. I'm gonna have to finish it right down here. I would go back to the beginning and finish it there, but I really don't have space. And here we're using the word the before the noun again, because shop is the name of a place. It's a word that tells you a place, so that's our noun. So we use the word the before the noun. And then here we use the word the before best, because that was an adjective before cupcake, which is our noun, a thing. Okay, let's go ahead and look at this next one. Chipmunk the in hid the grass. I already know I have to start with that because there's my capital. Then after that, I need a noun. I'm going to go ahead and use chipmunk, because if I tried to use the other noun, grass, let's see if it sounds right. The grass hid in the chipmunk? No, we'll say the chipmunk hid in the grass. Chipmunk is a really small little animal. It's kind of like a squirrel. You find them in forests. They have small little tails, while squirrels have long bushy tails. The chipmunk, look, here's another compound word. Chip, monk, chipmunk. The chipmunk hid. Gonna go ahead and put my verb next. That's my action. What was the chipmunk doing? It was hiding. But when it happened already in the past, we changed that to hid. The chipmunk hid in the grass. In the grass. I'm going to show you this in a second, because now I'm looking at, you can see, you can't see because my hands are in the way. So there, I'll read it. The chipmunk hid in the grass. Boop. Yep, that's a good sentence, and the only capital is T because there aren't any proper nouns. Remember, proper nouns are words that name a person, a place, or a thing. And we don't have any of those. We do have nouns, chipmunk and grass, but they're not proper. They're like not the name of a chipmunk. Like, what are those three chipmunks? Alvin, Theodore, and oh, I can't remember those chipmunks from all the movies they did. But it's Alvin, Theodore, oh, Simon. Simon, Alvin, and Theodore. Those are chipmunks, and if we use their names, then it would be a proper noun. But these are just regular words, nouns, no capitals needed. Okay, our last sentence is, on Jan with went friend, a picnic her. Again, looking at this sentence, the only word that has a capital is Jan. So even though that's a name, because there's no other words with capital, I know I need to start with Jan. So I'm going to go ahead and say Jan, and then we're going to say went, do our verb, our helping verb. Jan went on a picnic, on a picnic, on a picnic with her friend, with her friend. All right, so that is my last sentence. Jan went on a picnic with her friend. Now, if Mrs. Lloyd wrote too fast for you, remember you can always pause the video with those 2 lines, or you can always just listen to me and then go back and do it again. And if you need to watch any part, you can for help. The bottom directions say, fill in the missing trick word. The words that we have are little, want, people, or month. And we made this really easy because there's just 1 dashed line for each letter. I like the blank of May. May is a month, so I know that the right word that fits in that spot is the word month. Now with month, make sure you don't do a U. I know you're going to want to do a U for month, but remember it's a trick word and it's spelled with an O. Let's look at the next one. There was a blank reptile at the shop. We already used month, so there was a little reptile. Let's see if it fits. Little. It does. I can just spell if I'm not sure to check the dashes before I fill it in with the right word. Little. So now we have wanton people. There were 6 blank in the den. It wouldn't be there were 6 want in the den. So we'll say there were 6 people. Let's check it and see if people will fit here. P-E-O-P-L-E. Yep, people fits. P-E-O-P-L-E. The next one, I blank to win the big contest. It's want. And again, be really careful that you're spelling it want, which I know is confusing, right? But it's a trick word. So the A is not saying ah. Otherwise, we'd say I want to win. Instead, we say want. So so definitely a different sound. Want. So you have to remember W-A-N-T. And that is our foundations practice for today, kiddos. Unscrambling the sentence, we talked a lot about using the word the before a noun, or sometimes before like an adjective in the word. Also using capitals at the beginning and periods at the end. That's it. That's your foundations. Have a great day.